Alright guys, I am back, and that's because Hot Toys just dropped some new figures. We have 2 life-size figures and 1 more Mando. That's right, another Mando, because you know Mandalorian and Grogu's coming out pretty soon, so they're gonna hit us up and say, hey, buy some more stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see if it is for us, maybe it's for you, maybe it's for nobody. Let's find out. So this is the Mandalorian and Grogu from the upcoming movie. Now we're going to have 2 different sets here. There's going to be the standard set and then the deluxe set. Now the standard one is going to be $330, not too bad. Then the deluxe, $375. Now the deluxe is going to come with a pram, as they call it. You know, the floating cradle that holds Grogu. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really see a lot of differences between this figure and the previous one that came out, the chrome one. This one supposedly has an electroplate finish and it's supposed to be better or perhaps more accurate. I know a lot of us were holding out for die cast, but it didn't happen this time. So we're going to have to suffice with this electroplating process. So here we have our splash page, and one of the first differences that I know a lot of people are talking about is the flight suit being a more authentic brown instead of a gray, which, to be honest with you, it never caught my attention. I have the chrome version and I never noticed that there was inaccuracy. So to me, it doesn't really strike me as a big improvement. I'm not that much of a stickler for screen accuracy. If it looks good enough to me, it's good enough to me. But that being said, apparently it is more accurate. Now this one is coming with another head sculpt, and taking a look at this head sculpt, I think it's okay. I know a lot of people are saying it's the best head sculpt ever, but I'm not quite convinced that this one is an improvement over the previous one. And it's for this reason alone. If you take a look at the hair, it all kind of swoops over to the left. It's all very swoopy onto the left side. And to me, that's kind of just not how hair behaves in real life. Maybe it's just the pictures, or maybe we have a little bit of lazy sculpting. I hate to say it, but I don't like the head sculpt as much as the previous one. Now, I think it does look like Pedro Pascal, even though we have Pedro Pascal fatigue. It looks like him, but I think they need to improve on the hair. So here we have him in flight mode with Grogu in the pram on the side. It looks good. I don't know if there's any wires in the capes because it has that flowing effect. But to be honest with you, this is really not that exciting of a figure because there's been multiple versions. We had, the original Beskar armor. Then we got the chrome that made a lot of people angry. And to be honest with you, I don't really think that this figure is for the hardcore Hot Toys fans. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. These are the type of figures that people pick up as their first and perhaps one-off Hot Toys figure. So I think this is trying to capture that market. And more evidence is that we have those life-size figures that a lot of Hot Toys collectors don't choose. Here we have another flight pose. I gotta say, everything looks good, but it doesn't look like anything new to us. I noticed that the armor doesn't have as much weathering as the previous chromed out version, which I do have. Whether you like that more or not, I kind of like the weathering. I know it wasn't as screen accurate, but it looked good to me. So I kind of prefer that version, to be honest with you. Now, finally, with the Mando, we have Grogu, which he can attach to the side of his shoulder magnetically. And we have him with his weapon, and it has nice heat scoring on it. That's a cool effect. But I will notice that this electroplating process is not as shiny as the chrome. It's just not. That's going to be a matter of personal preference, whether you like it more, whether it's more screen accurate or not. We kind of really don't know because the movie hasn't come out. In every version of a movie, things are never always the same. There's multiple versions of costumes, and then they make changes here and there. So whether this is screen accurate, I don't know. But aesthetically speaking, I like the chrome one. Okay, now getting on to the life-size figure of Grogu. Now this one is updated. He does come with this Beskar armor plate, and he has a little satchel, some charges in there, and of course his all infamous blue macaroon. And I think this is the type of piece, like I said, that is not really for Hot Toys fans. Now, if you wanted Grogu, you had multiple tries to get him. Here he is again. I think this is the type of piece that people that like to go to conventions and cosplay, they like to pick this one up. Now, the previous version did come with a satchel. This one does not, but this one does have the armor, which, by the way, you could buy as a standoff accessory. It's $95, I believe. So we have that. He has a blaster on his wrist. All the implanted hair looks good. I think every single version that they come out with this guy, he starts looking a little bit more doughy-eyed in each version. He gets cuter and cuter, right? Maybe it'll have an effect on me. Maybe I'll end up picking up Grogu one of these days. Grogu with the macaroon. I got to give it to him. It looks like a real macaroon. Looks like you could actually bite the thing. And in this last shot, we get a full-on view of Grogu with his armor in the back. I like that you can see Grogu's feet, so he's pretty accurate. And in this last shot, those feet function. He can stand on his own. Always a plus in my eyes. And finally, the life-size Anzellan. So this is the Droid Smith. These guys were cute. You can tell these were made just to sell toys. And I think they're going to be a success at this. He does have implanted hair. Now, one thing I want to let you know about this life-size Anzellan. Yes, he is life-size, but these guys are small. So this Anzellan being in life-size is only like 10 inches tall. So take that in mind. So this Anzellan comes in at $240. So at first it seems like, wow, $240 for life size, but hey, it's just a 10-inch figure. Here we go. We have two Anzellans. One thing I'll take note of is, I'm gonna be honest, the sculpting is a little bit soft. It's not super detailed. And I'm not sure if this was just some pre-production issues, but this Anzellan over here on the left, they kind of didn't even try with the eyebrows or his chin hair. You can see like the plugs. Maybe that's supposed to be how that version of the guy is. I'm not quite sure because they are two different guys, but why one has like the plugs in his chin and his eyebrows? Maybe that's his thing because the other one looks much better. Or maybe they forgot to spread out the hair. I don't know. It's okay. You see joints on the arms. But what other options do you have for a life-size Anzellan? So I think this is a fair price. I think it looks good. If I were to get the Grogu, I would definitely want to have the Anzellan. I'm going to be honest with you. I like the Anzellans. So I feel it's a fair price. They could make some improvements. Maybe with that chin hair, they'll fix it later on. So yeah, that's it. I would say that these figures, they're good, but I don't think they're really for us. I think everybody that's a hardcore Hot Toys collector and a Mandalorian fan has already got these. Like, maybe not the Anzellan, but life-size Grogu, you want it, you probably got it. Mando, you want it, you probably got it. So this is kind of like, hey, it's a money-making decision here. They're going to keep selling them as long as people keep buying them, and then there's a market for it. And I think with Mando coming out, they're going to sell a lot of these. But let me know, maybe you're going to upgrade. I think it would be crazy to upgrade on your Mando. I'm going to be honest with you, it's a little bit crazy. But if you want that accuracy in the flight suit, let me know below. Let me know how awesome it is. It's your money. But anyways, thank you for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.